traveling to consciousness, exploring spiritual journeys to find answers in uncertainty.
So, with money and spirituality, hi TR, welcome to the chat. So, I feel qualified in at least talking about this somewhat. I definitely have more to learn, but somewhat because I went from broke to making over $10,000 a month in less than a year. And I give a lot of credit to being spiritual, to learning about energy, to expanding my horizon, to staying humble, and to just keep learning, trying to become more powerful, honestly. Because at the end of the day, and this goes into my intention of sharing all this information to people, is that spiritual people need to become powerful. We look around the world today, and the people who run this world are not of high vibe, not high frequency. They don't have the best intentions of the common man, of the common person, of you and me. So my intention with this is to just give as much information as I can here. Spiritual people, hopefully you'll listen, you'll try it. And I think that goes into a good segue as well, which is don't trust me. Flat out, don't trust anything I say. Take the information, try it yourself. If it works, keep it. If it doesn't work, throw it in the trash. I will tell you that there is an element of patience with this because things should not be happening overnight. That's a whole nother conversation of shortcuts and why we want to avoid those, but be patient, give these things a try. And I promise you that you will see a lot of changes very quickly. With that being said, let's get into, I think, the current stigma in regards to the spiritual realm. Whenever I got into spirituality, I noticed that a lot of teachings, if you will, of people who were spiritual was that money's bad, money's the root of all evil, money's spiritually dirty. And then they would try to sell me a course. They would say, hey, do this cacao ceremony and it'll be $50. Do this breathwork ceremony, it's $100. When they just told me that money was dirty, money was bad, money was this low frequency, stay away from it, it's not good. And this always sat weird with me. And I couldn't understand why. I was like, shouldn't all this just be free then? Shouldn't we just be giving all this out? Shouldn't you just be hosting this for fun because you enjoy it and because it's spiritual? And that got me thinking, and it got me to a place, and whoever instilled this in me, but we have to realize that money is just a tool. Money is just a tool, an item. It's like a hammer. You can use a hammer for the right purpose, or you can use it for the wrong purpose. If you're a spiritual individual, you can use it for the right things. If you're a lower frequency individual, you use it for the wrong things. So it's a tool. And I want to also emphasize here that it can be helpful as a perspective, and maybe like you could consider this one part of the techniques, but as a perspective that you should imagine money as being a person. Think of money as just a person, right? Think of right in front of you, you got the personification of money, and it's maybe this very rich person. They got gold. Maybe they have US dollars hanging from them. They have every currency hanging from them. And imagine your relationship with money and you project it onto them. You sit there, you start saying, you're evil, you're bad, you're ugly, you're gross, you're low frequency. Is that person going to come to you? Is that person going to help you? Are they going to want to be a part of your life? So people who are in the spirituality community tend to be very enlightened individuals to begin with. Very connected to source, very connected to their inner eyes, very connected to the astral, all these things. And so you're more powerful. So if you're going to be more powerful and use that power to tell money it's bad, why would it come to you? If someone jumps in this group chat right now, keeps telling me I'm low vibe, I'm ugly, I'm bad, am I going to help that person? Am I going to go to them? No. So one way to shift your mindset is think of money as just a person, right? We say it's a frequency, which is true. But just think of it as though it's like a living, breathing person, and you're in constant communication with it. When you make purchases, maybe whenever you sell things, see what money wants. Talk to it. You're connected to the astral. You're connected to these energies. So ask it. Say, hey, what would make this more powerful? Do you want me to charge more? Do you want XYZ? Talk to it. I promise you're not going crazy. If there's other people around, maybe talk internally. Don't talk out loud. But I think it's important to note that money's just neutral, and it wants to go where people will enjoy it. I mean, think about you. If people enjoy your presence, you're just going to want to go to them, right? You're going to flow to them. So, I think and here's an important asterisk. It's important to know that money isn't the ultimate. It's not the supreme goal. It's not the ultimate goal of life to make as much money as possible. And I think that's where people get tripped up, especially in the spiritual community, is we start to think that it's the ultimate, it's the North Star. But again, it's just a tool. You have to understand what you're using that tool for. What's the purpose of making more money? And look, hey, for the very base minimum, it could just be to survive. I totally get that. I was there for a long time, and I totally get that. And it's valid. But have a plan. Once you're done surviving, what are you going to use that money for? What's the intention of becoming powerful? Why do you want to become powerful? I can tell you for myself that it's world peace. I want money so that I can use said money to create world peace. So that might be the very first thing that I'd suggest anyone does. Maybe it's just survival. Maybe you're just at the place of survival. You just want to survive. And then once you're out of survival, you can start figuring it out. But here's where I'm going to start giving you like some practical, real world, physical layer advice, techniques that you can start doing to hopefully make you more calm, which is very important. People don't talk about how becoming calm allows you to see more. So the more calm you become, the more your spiritual gifts will turn online. So let's talk about, in regards to money, one way that we can become more calm so that we can become more spiritual. Our inner eye can become more online. Our gifts can improve and heighten. All right. So I'm going to be talking right now, assuming you know absolutely nothing about finances. So please don't be offended if I go too base level here. But the very first thing that you should do, that everyone should have, is a spreadsheet. You should go online. If you've never used Excel, if you've never used Google Spreadsheets, look online how to create and use spreadsheets. What you're going to do is you're going to create a spreadsheet, and you're going to track all of your monthly expenses and all of your income that you have throughout a month. Because you have to become aware of what you're doing with your money, right? That visualization that we had of that person, that entity of money, right? That's nice. That's astral layer. But we need to see it in the physical. We need to see what that entity looks like. What's our interaction like with that entity in the physical layer? So make a spreadsheet. Track all your income, all your outcome. All your income, all your expenses. What you need to make sure you have in this case is that so now that you have all of it tracked, hopefully your expenses are less than your income. If they're about the same, then you're likely living paycheck to paycheck. And in worst case scenarios, you're going to be in a lot of struggle. You're going to be in a lot of fear mindset. You're going to be in scarcity and survival 100%. So physical layer, what we need to do is cut down the expenses. However you can. Cut as much of your expenses as you possibly can. If you're making $100 a month, you gotta, this is where you gotta eat your humble sandwich, if you want to call it that. You gotta be as humble as you possibly can be. And you need to take your expenses as close to zero as possible, as humanly possible. And look, you might have to go live in certain situations that you don't want to live in, but I'm telling you that this is going to slingshot you into the next tax bracket, into your future. So let's use some fictitious numbers, right? I'm sure everyone's making more than $100 a month. Let's say maybe about $1,000 a month might be like, I assume if you got to pay rent, let's just use 1,000. It's a nice ballpark number. Let's say $1,000 a month. You're making $1,000 a month. Your expenses, maybe right now they're at 800 or 900. It's not bad, but if you can get those lower, maybe you got to eat cheaper food for a while. Maybe you have to go and move into a place where you're splitting a room, maybe even. So this way you can get down maybe to 500. So you have $1,000 and now 500. That, first of all, let me tell you this. First of all, that is going to do a lot for you psychologically. Physical layer, you might not be so happy. I get that. But psychologically, you're going to be in a much calmer place. You will, first of all, because you're getting in control of your finances, and now you are having a physical plan. You're physically seeing money and how you're interacting with it, how it's going in, how it's going out. Neo Rudy said, and that's for the next 4 years. Or it's as long as it needs to be. Don't see the time. See, time will mess with you too. Try to stay present with this, Neo. So it's actually a really good question. But time will mess with you psychologically as well. Stay present. I'm kind of just giving you the steps of like what the next step is, right? So the first step is a spreadsheet. The second step is reduce your expenses. The third step, in which we haven't gotten to yet, but you just have to do those. Those are the first two primary steps. How long it takes you to do that? It might take people 4 years to just make that Excel spreadsheet, Neo. That's the crazy thing. So I can't tell you a time frame. I don't know what it is, but I'm just telling you that the steps in order to get to where you're trying to go. Okay, so in our hypothetical situation, you've moved in with these friends, you've got $500 extra, which is an insane amount. I mean, not an insane amount, don't get me wrong, but it's a healthy amount compared to where you were, right? If you were making $100 extra, not knowing that you had $100 and now you're up to 500, that's a 5x. So for your situation, that's actually really good, and you're going to become a lot more calmer. You're going to take that $500, and huge credit to Alex Hormozi on this one, is you're going to invest in yourself. Everybody wants the quick return, right? The quick ROI. What stock is going to boom? Maybe I should get into selling and trading stocks, options, calls. I hear those are good. Maybe crypto. Maybe I should invest in crypto. You need to invest in yourself. Alex Hormozi calls it the S&Me 500. And this is where you need to invest your knowledge. Why do I say this? If you go and watch, there's a really good Instagram account called the Hard School of Knocks or Hard Knock School or something. And this kid goes around and basically will interview billionaires, multimillionaires about their businesses, how they did it. And a very common question that he will ask is, if you lost it all today, could you make it all back? Unequivocally, all of them say yes. Why is this? Let's see if you have a guess. I've told you guys, I gave you a little bit of hint earlier, but let me see if anyone can guess. Why is it that all these billionaires say if they lost it all tomorrow, they could make it back without a doubt? No doubt in their mind that they could make it back. I'll give a couple of seconds, see if anyone wants to make a guess. Let's see. TR said knowledge. Because they got the knowledge. Yep, you guys got it. They have the knowledge. They can take away your cars. They can take away your clothes. They can take away your money. But they'll never be able to take away what's between your ears. They'll never be able to take away the knowledge, the things you've learned, the things you've experienced, the wisdom. So by using that, you now also will build confidence within yourself. Because if you know that you could always make the money back, are you really going to be worried about investing more money in yourself, Maybe you're going to spend some money on running ads. Maybe you need to take a course on running ads and you're worried about spending $500 because that's an entire month. But you spend that $500 and then now you have the knowledge that you can run ads. So now it just will compound on itself. And I also want to make a disclaimer. I'm not telling anyone how to invest this money on purpose because I think that it should be a very unique and specific thing to what your situation is, what you're trying to accomplish, what you're trying to do with your life. But the investing in knowledge and then executing on that knowledge to make it wisdom. Okay, cool. So quick refresh. Let's go through this again. Number 1, create a financial spreadsheet. Number 2, cut all unnecessary expenses. Go as hard as you can on that. Move in whoever you need to. Eat Taco Bell. And honestly, fast food's so expensive nowadays. Eat spinach every single day if you have to. Invest in yourself. Oh, and then next one is invest in yourself. All right, let me see this question real quick. Where were we at? We're at there. So Neo said, but why do we want to be millionaires if life isn't about that? To prove is that we all gonna die before 100 years. So Neo, I kind of covered this a little bit earlier because so what you're essentially asking is what's the point of making millions of dollars? First of all, you don't have to. I am in no way, shape, or form going to sit here and tell people to become a millionaire or a billionaire or try to do that. I know that's on my life path, but if that's not you, that's totally cool. What I'm proposing, though, is money's a tool. We need to understand the energy of money. We've never been taught the energy of money. So once you're calm, you can then use money to carry out what you want in this world. So being a millionaire isn't the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal for me is world peace. And so a pathway towards world peace, you have to go through becoming a millionaire and billionaire, right? Look at who runs America right now. Elon Musk, Donald Trump, billionaire. I'm not saying anything about them, whether they're good, bad, whatever. But in order to have the power to make a change on a global scale, that's where my path is at least aligned. And there's nothing wrong with it being, if you feel like your path is lower or you feel like if you're content saving sea lions and you make $200,000 a year, $100,000 a year, like all power to you. I support that fully. This is just to get you out of survival, right? That's kind of what I've only talked about right here is get out of survival. So to get out of survival, right? Create a financial spreadsheet, cut unnecessary expenses, invest in yourself. Now, interesting you asked that, Neo, because this might start to be where it gets into that place of like entrepreneurship, trying to grow something big. But I would argue that this also might be still in the realm of like, let me get to 6 figures, which is pick one thing and go all in. So I told you earlier to invest in yourself, right? Now, if you invest in yourself, but you spend $100 on piano lessons, you spend $100 on coding lessons, you spend $100 on fishing lessons, you spend $100 on running ads, you're going to dilute yourself. Instead, take $500, put it into piano lessons. Take $500, put it into coding lessons. Go all in on one thing. And I know that's scary, but it's going to be a lot more empowering. You can always change later, but right now we have to get you out of survival or scarcity mindset. And you're likely doing something right now, and you've probably been generating energy in a specific direction for like a specific item already in your life. So just double down on that. Take money, get out, like find someone on YouTube, hire them, buy their course, get them to teach everything you can. And it will take you up a tax bracket for sure. And again, well, I don't want to say for sure because I don't know your situation. I don't know how much money you make right now, so I can't say that for sure. But you will see improvements in that area of your life. All right, next one. And this is the big one, all right? That was the easy stuff. That was all the easy stuff. This is the hard part. Be patient. This goes back to Neo, your question. Does it have to be 4 years? I don't know the answer of that. You're not going to know the answer of that. Only spirit, source, nature knows the answer of that. There are techniques, there are perspectives that will speed up that process, no doubt. But you have to be patient and trust the process. You can't think, oh, I bought one $500 course and now I know everything. It won't work. You have to be humble. You have to be patient. That patience will help you a lot too in the future. You understand how to take your time, how to learn. And that's kind of the last piece of this, is to be patient. This is the process right here. And when your income rises, don't just go out of your way and start spending your expenses to match your income, because you'll get right back into the same hole you were just in. You can do some income, of course, right? Move out with those friends, maybe get a room on your own, maybe get your own apartment. You can do those things, but make sure you're still investing in yourself. If you want. Again, this goes back to whatever you want to do. If you get to that spot, you're like, I'm making $100,000 a year. I'm helping my baby seals. I live in a condo on my own. Like, life is perfect. Then good. You did it. You got to where you are. All of this great. But if you're trying to keep going up, you got to still keep the expenses low. So let me run this back for you guys. Number 1, create a financial spreadsheet. Number 2, cut unnecessary expenses. Be as brutal as you can with cutting those. 3, invest in yourself. 4, pick one thing, go all in. 5, be patient and focus on your bigger picture, because that will motivate you. That will carry you through it all. If your thing's baby seals and you're living with 10 guys in one room, just remember that you're doing this for the baby seals that you're going to help. Remember, you're doing this for myself, for world peace. You're doing this to create world peace. How, like, if that takes 40 years, like, what else am I doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it won't take that long, but like, you have to have the mindset of playing a game that's going to play out in eternity. And again, with the social media and everything, that can be difficult, but we're not here to do easy things. So those are the kind of the big things, the big takeaways. If you guys have questions, drop them right now. I'll also put out there that I have a lot of like things on my Instagram, on my TikTok, of like small little kind of like tidbits of making money, like mindset shifts, some practices you can do. Tiara said devotion. Yeah, be devoted. Have a cause that you're devoted to. Have a cause that's bigger than yourself. That's the key. Right? I don't want to become a billionaire so I can say, oh, I, Clayton Cuteri, am a billionaire. I want to become a billionaire so that I can help create world peace. It's a very important difference. You can serve the ego if you want. I'm not telling you what to do, but it's gonna, as a spiritual individual, you'll feel the difference. You'll feel it. Tiara, devotion to the baby seals. Yeah. Yeah, someone's got to look out for the seals. Tiara, maybe that's your calling. I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. I know you're on for bigger stuff than just the seals, but we do have to look out for those baby seals. So if anyone's trying to do baby seal stuff, I hope you got it. Cool. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I know I did. I came together pretty well, a lot better than I was expecting. Yeah, other than that, check out the podcast. If you're looking for more knowledge to become more calm, go onto the podcast, look up Indigo Education, because again, when you become more calm, you'll see the energies more. You'll get different ideas that will help you become more calm. And it creates this ripple effect. Don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. Yeah, don't throw out the baby seal with the bathwater. But yeah, don't throw out the baby either. But yeah, Neo, that's a perfect analogy for all this, right? Is like money. Everyone's like, all right, money's bad. People with money are bad, so throw it all out. But it's just knowledge. That's all it comes down to, is just knowledge. So hopefully this knowledge, and then knowledge on my podcast, knowledge on my Instagram, and hopefully a lot more knowledge to come, how we can shift our perspective so that we can achieve balance, harmony, peace. Because if not now, when? So with that being said, guys, I appreciate you all. Thank you for coming to this live. I will be live next week as well. Sign up for my newsletter, because then you get like a little tidbit of what I'll be talking about that week. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope I provided at least a little bit of value. You got a little bit closer to your goals in this life, and I appreciate you all for coming. Peace.